that was just like a big giant ramble. I'm just rambling at this moment in time. Just need to be short and sweet. No, 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 that's not right. No, 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 no. I thought about putting makeup on, but it's 5:16 in the morning and that seems a little bit much, don't you think? What's up everyone, I'm Rebecca the Reseller. Thanks for joining me today for a What Sold video for the week of April 26th through May 2nd of 2020. This week I'll be going over all the fast sellers, all the top sellers, the boutique report, and of course, some really great awards of all those random weird sales that happened this week. Real quick, before we dive into the video and the What Sold information, I just wanted to do a really special shout out at this time to my very first channel member. If you missed it last week, I did a video announcing my goal, my big goal, and my big news. And the big news was that I was approved by YouTube to have channel memberships. I had a great time coming up with the levels and all of the different perks that go along with being a channel member here at Rebecca the Reseller. And my very first member signed up. And one of the things that she gets as being a community member is a shout out once a month in the What Sold video. So I'm really excited to have, and I want to make sure I get her name right, Jaylene Fusina, Hustle from Home Mom. So go ahead and check out her channel. Go ahead and see what she's up to. I'm excited to get to know her. We have a member live coming up this week, so I'm really excited to get all of this rocking and rolling. If you're interested in becoming a member here at Rebecca the Reseller and getting all the cool benefits that I've included, go ahead and check that out down below. Now let's get into the What Sold video. So just some opening notes for the week. I will tell you, in general, just looking back, the sales were lackluster. I really do try to break over $1,000 in sales every week. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. This week it didn't. $750 is still great. We're still in a really crazy time, so I'll take all of it. I'm happy to have any of it, but I really do, in order to be hitting the numbers that I want, I really want to be doing over $1,000 a week in gross sales. Now, if you missed the video I did last week, I think it was my goal, my big goal, and some channel news, which I already mentioned. The goal that I am working toward is 4 ways to 4K, and it's basically bringing in an income from 4 different pillars, 4 different income streams, and bringing in 4K a month take home, so 1,000 from each one of those different streams. And reselling is one of them, and if you want to know more about that, the video will be linked in the description below. And every week now, I want to be keeping myself accountable to striving towards getting to that point. And so reselling is one of those pillars. I'm trying to get at least over $1,000 in gross sales a week so that I can end up having $1,000 a month take home or more just from my reselling pillar. So this week, I just kind of made the note that the sales were lackluster. Like, they weren't anything great. They weren't anything terrible. It was just kind of an on par / subpar week. So I don't know how it was for you. Let me know in the comments below how your sales were this week, or kind of generally what you're feeling about sales, whether they're getting better or just still kind of like, Is something I do want to note about this week. I tried again doing a big offers to likers on my entire closet. Now, if you'll remember, I did that 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I had a great week. Then last week, it was so-so, a little bit higher than this week. And then this week, I did the offers to likers again. I did 30% offers with shipping discounts to my entire closet on a Friday night. Now, or Friday throughout the day and into the night, because I have to start and stop. It takes me a little while to actually get all the offers to likers out. And so what I noticed this time, my experiment, was that I did not round the offer, if that makes sense. I don't know another way to say it. So like if you have an item and it's X amount of dollars and you do 30% off and it puts it at $31, last time I rounded it to $30 and then did a shipping discount where they're paying $4.99 shipping. So they're basically like $35 out the door shipped. And this time I was trying to do it quickly and I didn't realize until into it, I had already sent out a bunch of offers, that I wasn't rounding them off. I wasn't rounding it to 15 in a shipping discount, 20 in a shipping discount, 25 in a shipping discount. I was just doing it haphazardly. So some offers went out at 27, some offers went out at 31, whatever it was. And so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it and see what happens. Now, I don't know if that's the only reason why this particular offers to likers was not as successful as the last offers to likers. It could just be that I only did it 2 weeks ago, and so I only collected 2 weeks worth of likes. And so also the stimulus checks, I think, were more hot than they were this time around. So I mean, there's a couple of things that could have gone into it, but I did want to bring up that note as far as an experiment of sending out your offers to likers and noting what the rounded off amount is. Is it a random number or is it a rounded off number? So when you do offer the shipping discount or the free shipping, it's like a round number, like 35, 30, 50, that type of thing. So it's just something to think about. Take note of it the next time you're sending out offers and see if you can round off that extra $1 or $2. If it makes a difference in the psychology of the buyer and having it be like, okay, I can get this for 35 basically, and in their mind, it's $35 shipped when you have it 30 and then a shipping discount. So just see what you think about that. The other note that I wanted to make this week is that I am starting to get sales on ThreadUp. Now, if you have been watching recently, I've done a couple of videos of what I've sent in. I have a video coming up of what I've sent in. I'm going to be doing an update video now that I'm starting to get rejects back and sales. So I'm not going to include my ThreadUp sales in my normal what sold videos because I feel like there's a lot of moving parts with that still, and it's still kind of new to me. So I think I'm going to continue to have a separate video that is just ThreadUp updates. What sold, what was paid out, what they took, what they didn't take, what my plans are, any notes that I have. So I think ThreadUp videos and sales, etc., are going to be separate videos. And then this what sold video is going to strictly be Poshmark for the time being. Perhaps once I get a system where I can track my ThreadUp sales and my Poshmark sales in a more integrated way in my spreadsheet, then I would mix them together. But for right now, they're two completely different animals and I just can't seem to track them together. So ThreadUp is going to be a separate video with all the sales, payouts, what I'm sending in, what's rejected, what's accepted, all of that. So if you're interested in that, be looking out because that video is coming. And then this is just going to be a what sold video on Poshmark. All right, so let's dive in for the week with all of my normal stats. Let's go ahead and give you the rundown. So this week I was able to finally break through again to the 800 items listed mark. So I have 802 items listed at this time. It did go up to about 809, and then with sales, it went down again. But at least at this part, I'm back into the 800. Again, I'm really trying to get over 1,000. I was at one time over 2,000. I slowly started to bring it down so I could really get a good manageable group of solid quality items. And now I'm trying to ramp it back up with more quality items. The average number of listings per day is still at 10. I think there was one day that I did 6 because I'm adding some boutique jewelry items in. I'm waiting for those to come in, but I put the listings up. And so I was at 6 that one day, but I'm still an average of 10 listings per day, going up pretty regularly, pretty solidly. How many listings a day do you add into your Poshmark closet? I'm really curious what everybody's listing averages are right now. The total number of sales for this week were $750. That is with a total number of sales of 38 and an average sales price. It was like $19 and change. So I just rounded it up to 20, which is basically where I want to be. Like I'm happy with a $20 ASP at this time, given what I'm sourcing, given kind of how things are going. Perhaps in some point in the future, I would look to increase that just for like time and return. But right now I feel comfortable having a $20 ASP. Like that's fine for me. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. How were your sales this week? What was your average ASP? Did you have higher sales than last week, lower sales than last week? I'm just very interested to know what it looks like for you guys. Like I know what I'm doing. I'm sharing that with you, but I'd love to know what your experience is as well. Okay, so for high and low sales this week. So on the high side, doing the offers to likers, I had a high number of sales of 14. So that was the most I had in any given day this week. The lowest amount of sales I had this week was 2. There was one day where I had only 2 sales. But for the dollar amount, the high day was $274, which obviously was a result of the offers to likers. So $274 on the high side. And then on the low side, the day that I had 2 sales, it was only $32 in sales. Wah, wah, wah. Now, before I jump into the top selling items, now is a great time to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. I would appreciate it. Okay, so let's start talking about the top selling items. So these are the items selling for a higher dollar amount. I'm going to give you the top 5. So the lowest of the 5 is a Club Monaco Winhoa pleat front dress. It was a size 00. So I'm just happy that it sold and sold to someone. It was a really pretty dress. I like the style of Club Monaco, but that's one of those brands that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm happy this did go. It sold for an offer of $30 and I was happy to get that. That took 33 days to sell. The next item was another ASOS piece. And if you watched, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I had a ton of ASOS pieces sell and I was really happy about that. And this again was ASOS in size 14. And so I was really happy to see that this sold. It sold for $31, which was an offer to likers. It sold in 2 days of being listed, and I was really excited for that sale because it's really just proving again that that size 14 in ASOS seems to be not only a good sale price, but a quick seller for me. Next up is this Topshop fuzzy full zip hoodie sweat jacket, and this took 34 days to sell. It sold for $35, and I will take that all day long. So Topshop, you know, some of the pieces can be not that expensive retail, and so you want to get items that are a little bit more substantial of a piece, and this came in a wholesale pack, and I was happy to have that sell in such a decent amount of time and for a decent price point. Next up is an Ann Taylor cashmere sweater. You guys know, if you've been watching for any amount of time, I love selling cashmere. I don't know if there will ever be a day where I just sell cashmere, but I have to tell you, when you think about the idea of niching down and only selling things that you like, cashmere is one of them. And I don't know if I've mentioned this, but recently I got a wholesale pack. It had a lot of cashmere in it, and one of the cashmere items did not have a brand tag. It had a fabric tag, and so it said it was 100% cashmere, but there was no brand tag in sight. And I was really tempted to keep it, and I kept it. So I've never bought a cashmere sweater. I just never did. And I'm so excited to have this cashmere sweater. I have it in a pile to go get dry clean. And obviously I don't need it now because it's like, starting to be hot temperatures here in Orlando, but I'm excited for next sweater season because I will be sporting my new cashmere sweater, all thanks to reselling. So anyway, the Ann Taylor cashmere sweater sold in 24 days of being listed for $35. That was an offer I'd like for cashmere to be in the higher 30s, if not $40, and then depending on the brand, perhaps even $50. But in this particular case, I wasn't going to haggle over it. We're starting to get out of sweater season, so I was just happy to have a sweater sell. I was happy to have an over $30 sale at this point. Okay, the highest dollar value sale that I had this week was a $45 sale. It took 93 days to sell, and it is a spider athletic jacket. It's for skiing, for snowboarding, and I had a lot of questions on this because they were asking about the hood, and I double checked it. There was no hood, and so that's the thing sometimes if you don't know what the item is supposed to be, you may not know if it's missing anything. And so no one really said that it was missing the hood, and I couldn't find out whether it was or it wasn't, but there was no hood, and I did not see anywhere where there should be a hood, like a zipper or anything. So to me, it did not seem like it was missing something. So I let this go for $45 because I did get multiple questions about a hood. So that led me to believe that either it was missing it, or normally you want a hood with this kind of jacket or whatever. I like selling ski gear. I like selling spider ski gear. It doesn't move super fast, but it usually sells for a higher profit because those are the kinds of things that I do pick up at the bins. And so it's never going to cost me more than $5 or $6, and I'm able to turn it around for usually over 40. Most of the time I'm selling ski stuff for even higher than that, but because of this one with the questions and the hood, I let it go for 45. Again, we're going to start coming out of ski season, and I don't want to sit on such a big and bulky item for that long, for a whole other year. Those are the top 5 selling items. I was really pleased. All of them were over $30, 5 of them. So I was very happy with that set of price point. For me, my average ASP that I'm looking for is $20, but I really like those over $30 sales. And the more items that I can get that command a $30 price point, the more often those $30 sales will come and the more quantity of them I will have. So as I start leveling up the items that I'm including in my store, I'm starting to see that there are weeks where I get a good solid amount of $30 sales, and that really does help the bottom line of the week. Now let's dive into the fastest selling items of the week. So these are the items that sold quickly, and we're going to go through them from the top to the bottom. So the Ann Taylor cashmere sweater that you saw, it sold in 24 days. That's on the top end. The next item is this Torrid top gray floral chalice button cami top that took 18 days to sell, and that sold just for $15. It wasn't anything too crazy, but sold quickly. The next item is a Bowden dress, and I have to tell you, I've recently received in a lot of Bowden. It's not a brand that I normally find. So I've known about Bowden, but I just don't usually see it. Maybe it's just not, maybe Orlando people are not in this kind of like preppy Bowden realm. I don't know, but I don't find it very often. And so recently, this is kind of like the ASOS thing, just not as quick of a seller. I received a bunch of Bowden, I received a bunch of ASOS, and they've all been selling for decent money. The ASOS seem to have sold quickly, more quickly than the Bowden, but the Bowden I like because I can easily find a stock photo for most items, and I think that in certain pieces that does really help them to sell. So in this particular case, it was a Bowdoin, Georgia dress, and it sold in 15 days of being listed for $27. Next is a pair of Ann Taylor career pants. Nothing special about these, just your straight basic Ann Taylor. Someone just must have needed them. They sold in 7 days and they sold for $17. And last is the ASOS high-low long sleeve top, and this sold in 2 days of being listed for $31. We are now at the boutique report, so if you are new to my What Sold videos or my channel, I do have a number of boutique items in my closet, wholesale, boutique, whatever you want to call them. They're direct from the manufacturer, selling them for the first time in my store, and I've had some great hits, I've had some great misses, but overall, I'm trying to round out the boutique offerings that I have, perhaps at some point in moving toward my four ways to 4K, and my ultimate goal, which I shared in that video that I mentioned earlier, of having a more automated, a more less hands-on freedom business is what I called it. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, check out that video in the description. But I'm interested in having a business that is less hands-on. With reselling, there's so much that you have to do. Sourcing, shipping, steaming, listing, all of the things, the photos, like it's just a lot, and it does become a grind after a while. And so with the 4 ways to 4K, I want 4 different pillars of income stream. I want each of them to make $1,000 so that I can take home $4,000. And I want to, once I achieve that goal, to move to my big goal, which is to have it become more automated. And so one of the things that I am working on slowly but surely is to continue to add boutique and wholesale items to my closet. You list it once, it can sell again and again, it's potentially replenishable, and it gives you an element of getting sales without having to do additional work. And so I'm experimenting with a lot of different categories and a lot of different things. I do have a boutique video from what I've learned so far, and so I'll put that in the description below for you to check out. And then as I continue that journey of boutique items, I will include more information about it. But the 6 items I sold this week from my boutique resulted in $93 in sales. It's not a lot, but these are older SKUs that have been in my closet for over a year. And so I'm not necessarily trying to fire sale these items, some of them, but I'm really just trying to get that slow trickle in of sales that I didn't have to do any more work for. The work has already been done, and I'm just shipping them off. Before I give out the awards for this week, now's a great time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you are a current subscriber, thank you for coming back. The awards. This is really becoming like a favorite thing that I look forward to all week. I'm like, oh, am I going to give out an award for that sale? Like, I'm just starting to think about it, of having different creative awards, and I think it's really fun. So I hope you think it's fun as well. So the first award I'm giving out today is a Slowpoke award. So this is the item of the week that is not a boutique item. So like a pre-owned thrifted item that has taken the longest to sell. And that Slowpoke award goes to this bundle of 2 Olga bras. And I do like selling bras. I went through a period where I was always finding bras, and then I feel like there was a period where I didn't find any. So I actually don't have a lot of bras left in my store right now. And I do think that there are certain bras that I prefer picking up. Most of the time they are molded cups, because I feel like you can take a better picture when it's just kind of the fabric. I feel like the picture doesn't turn out that well. But this particular was a bundle of bras, and I sold it after 457 days. So this has been in my store for over a year, and it finally sold, I think on an offer, and it sold for $20. And goodbye, Olga bras. So that's the Slowpoke award. The next award is the Wah 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 award, and this was just the lowest sale of the week in dollar amount. And so the lowest sale of the week was a $9 sale, and it was a Nike Dry Fit Tomboy Tank Ember Glow size large. This came from a local closet clear out. I actually held a buying event at my home where I promoted locally, hey, come and sell me your clothes, just like you would take them to a Style Encore or a Plato's Closet. But I had people come to my house. I set up a table out front. I had filmed a video of this, and I may go back and still release it. The problem is that when I was supposed to release it, all of the pandemic happened, and I kind of went dark on my channel for a little bit to deal with everything I had to at home with Geo and homeschool and just figuring out life. And when I did that, that's when the home buying event video was supposed to go live. And then after seeing all this pandemic, I decided that I wasn't going to release it because I didn't want people to think that I was doing this home buying event amidst the pandemic. I think now things have kind of shaken out to where I could probably release it and people may not think anything of it. because we're all figuring out ways to be safe and still source locally. So I need to kind of think about it. So stay tuned. That video may come out in the future because it was a good video as far as showing you how I did a home buying event. So let me know in the comments below if that's something you're interested in seeing. But anyway, I did the home buying event. Girl brought her clothes. I bought a bunch of her clothes. And so one of them was this tank top, and I only bought it for $1. I sold it for $9, so the profit is fine. Not great, but fine. But it was part of a larger sale, and I wanted to buy a bunch of her items because she had a Lululemon hoodie and she had like a bunch of other things that I really wanted. So I decided to kind of buy more so that I could get the good stuff. Whew. Award this week goes to these Michael Kors low-rise skinny jeans, and they took 29 days to sell on a relist. I couldn't find like my original date when I was putting this together, so I'm sorry about that. But they sold for $20 on an offer to likers from the, major offer to likers that I did this week. And the thing is, I didn't realize they were low rise. Like most of the time these days when I'm sourcing, I am checking the rise of the jeans. And if you've ever seen this before, I use my arm. Like if my arm from the crotch to the top of the waistband, if it's this length, it's usually high rise. And I don't know, I've never actually measured my forearm, but I just know that if I put my forearm there and it's about that, it's a high rise. So it must be like 10 inches or something. And so I use that as like a quick measurement when I'm out thrifting, just to kind of get an idea of the rise. And on these particular pair, I just didn't check it. And I really am not in the business these days of picking up low rise jeans because they just don't sell. I don't care what brand it is. I can't get any low rise jeans to sell. And it's funny, I was watching, it was Rachel Zoe was on Gary Vee the other day, and they were talking about are low-rise jeans going to make a comeback? And I was like, oh my God, because I've been not picking up low-rise jeans because the trend is high-rise and nobody's buying the low-rise. Now I'm like, oh great, now low-rise is going to come back, so whatever. But the low-rise jeans from Michael Kors finally sold. They sold for $20. It was Michael by Michael Kors. It wasn't Michael Kors. And that is my award. This week's Not Surprising award goes to a Calvin Klein dress. I have to tell you, Calvin Klein is just a basic bread and butter for me. I don't know if you dabble in it or not, but for me, whether it's a career style, whether it's a bodycon, whether it's a fit and flare, pretty much any Calvin Klein dress I'm going to pick up. I've kind of started to get away from like a Calvin Klein just basic tank top or basic career style blouse if I can help it. But the dresses always go for me, and they're usually going to go for 20 or more. Obviously, I do try to get more for them if they're new with tags, if there's a particular fabric type that it is, but a $20 to $25 Calvin Klein dress sale for me is just fine. It's plentiful, and so I can't expect $40. I mean, maybe, but I'm okay with selling it at $20, and I'm getting it cheap enough, and it just comes in and it goes out, and I just sell all these Calvin Klein dresses. I've had a lot of those sales recently, and this one was no exception. It was actually a $26 sale with an offer, so it did have a shipping discount as well. It took 37 days to sell, and I don't even think that this particular style was the cutest of some of the ones that I've seen, or even the most recent, but it sold $26. I'm okay with that. Thanks so much, Calvin Klein. Not a surprise. I will take it. The last award for today is what I'm calling It's Not You, It's Me award. So someone broke up with me over an item, and it wasn't me, apparently it was her. And so I'm going to tell you about it. It's this Robert Graham shirt, and I'm not a big fan of Robert Graham. I've never been really good at selling it. I just have had, I guess, a lot of bad pickups with Robert Graham. So when she sent me an offer for $20 for this shirt, I was like, fine, whatever. Like, I just want to be finished with it. I really don't even want any more men's items. I kind of just want to get rid of all of my men's items. But anyway, so she sent me the offer for $20. I accepted it. Then you get the note that says, I'm not interested in this shirt anymore. My husband doesn't want it. I need to cancel. And so I did the cancel, and it's like, it's not you, it's me. Actually, it was her husband in this situation. So it wasn't my fault. She broke up with me. I still have the Robert Graham shirt. I need to relist it in my closet. That's the It's Not You, It's Me award. Okay, everyone, that's it for this week. It was a good week. It wasn't a great week, but I will take it. Sales, I'm still happy for you. Working from home, being safe, I'm still happy for it. I'm grateful that I can do this reselling work, even though everything is crazy around us. So I really hope that you are all safe and healthy. Leave me a note in the comments below. Let me know how your week is going. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up on your way out. And if you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, I would love it if you'd hit that notifications bell so you don't miss a thing next time. Thanks so much. I hope you have an amazing week ahead. Have a great day.